Welcome to Coffee and RPGs. My name is Solomon SK, and thank you for tuning in for another episode of MMO and RPG News Roundup. If you're new to the channel, I really hope I could earn your subscription in this episode. I've made it my goal to try to get 200 subscribers by the end of July, so any support is definitely appreciated. But with that being said, we do have a lot of news to cover, so if you guys got your coffee or beverage of choice, let's go over the news together. Cheers to you guys. And the first bits of news I wanted to cover comes from Gematsu.com, and there are 3 articles that I wanted to go over. The first one, Monster Hunter World Iceborne Expansion Title Update 4 detailed, and it goes on to read that Capcom has detailed Monster Hunter World Iceborne Title Update 4, which is due out for all platforms on July 9th, as well as release the 6th developer diary and a updated roadmap. And as you can see here, we have a picture of that roadmap. And the main point, obviously, July 9th with the new monster Ultraon, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, as well as this fall, which is the 5th major title update, version 15.0, and the list includes Master Rank Layered Armor, as well as Asteria Fest and Celiana Fest, I hope I'm saying that right, which again is available this fall. But please do note that because of the global impact that has been going on, some content in this update feature has a limited voice dialogue, so keep that in mind. It's very similar to what happened to Guild Wars 2, unfortunately. And really quick, Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition for the PC launches on August 7th. PC features include ultra-wide support, unlocked frame rates, dynamic foliage, and more. And it will be available via Steam and Epic Game Store on August 7th for $49.99. Next, Fairy Tail game Digital Deluxe Costume trailer was also released. Publisher Koei Temco and developer Gust have released a new trailer for Fairy Tail, including the costumes included in the Digital Deluxe edition of the game. It is due out for the PlayStation 4, Switch, and PC via Steam on July 30th in Europe and Japan, and July 31st in North America. If you're curious about the Digital Deluxe price, it is going to set you back a pretty penny at $74.99, but if you want the standard edition, it's your standard cost of $59.99. Next, we will cover all the articles from MassivelyOP.com, and this first one here, New World talks up the musket weapon and shares some PvE combat gameplay. The musket is a hit scan weapon, meaning there's no damage fall off for 50 meters, but only 50% damage fall off up to 125 meters. Combine that with the additional damage for successful headshots, and the musket is an excellent long-range killer. However, it also takes a long time to load, requires cartridges that must be crafted, found, or bought in order to use, and is difficult to use while strafing. Next article, Ashes of Creation plans for more testers and resuming cosmetic sales. So apparently they were supposed to stop cosmetic sales because of the global problem that we've been having, but apparently they've been still going on. But it does go on to say that the game will be expanding its base of testers towards the end of July, allowing another tier of backers into the test to see how the game is shaping up. And in Stephen Sheriff's words, we will be expanding the testing group starting in August to include Leader of Men pack holders as we begin to ramp up the testing of Alpha 1. Next, Niantic of Pokemon Go fame is working on a new Catan World Explorers MMORPG, and I actually didn't know what MMORPG stood for, and it actually means Massively Multiplayer Online Augmented Reality Game. And that makes sense, Pokemon Go is such a game, but anyways, it does go on to read that the makers of Pokemon Go is at it again, making sort of the same game, this time with a different licensed property. Get hyped for Catan World Explorers. I do apologize if I'm not saying that correctly. And yes, it's based on the Settlers of Catan board game. And in their next article, Fallout is getting a TV series run by the Westworld folks and homed on Amazon Prime. And so this is either really going to excite you or disappoint you, depending on how you look at things. But the production studio signed is Kilter Films, the company run by Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy, now best known for their 3 years creating and helming the Westworld franchise. Next, Elite Dangerous applies bug fixes to fleet carriers as a community convention goes viral. So Elite Dangerous fans had a annual convention as well, but a lot of them, if not most of them, actually have been canceled. But again, first part of that title does mention that there is a patch that was released to help mitigate the bugs, but it does go on to read at the last part, the virtual event will involve a variety of Zoom meetings and Twitch live streams. You can get a look at the first draft of the event scheduled on their official site if you are curious. Next, we head on over to Ultra.com, where we have one article that I wanted to go over. GTA Online bonuses for the week of July 2nd, 2020. And basically, Rockstar has released a bunch of discounts and 50% off sales, including vehicles, as well as 50% off Independence Day sales as well. As you can see, there's a comprehensive list. I can't go over all of them, but again, the links to these articles will be down in the pinned comment section below if you want to take a closer look. Next, we head on over to PCGamer.com, where there are two articles that I wanted to go over. First one, some of the World of Warcraft's lowest population servers will be merged starting this summer, which is good news if you've been feeling a little lonely in the realm you're in. But it does go on to say that Blizzard is going to slowly merge realms each week over the next 2 to 3 months. Next, we will be talking about the Outriders, and we'll be spending a little bit longer with this article compared to the other ones so far. But Outriders has a hub and spoke structure and a RPG village truck. And it goes on to read that People Can Fly's forthcoming loot shooter Outriders has been subject to a steady stream of info dumps. It provides an overview of how the game is structured because it's always been unclear whether the game takes place in a seamless open world or it's something more akin to Destiny. It turns out it's something more akin to Destiny, but not quite. The studio describes it as a hub and spoke structure, which means that the combat areas and free roam areas, the spokes, branch off of busy settled areas, which are called the hubs. These settled areas are what you expect from an RPG village. There are vendors, NPCs with side quests, and various other distractions. I'm not exactly sure if this is a true analogy, considering I haven't really played Destiny or Destiny 2, but this also reminds me of the original Guild Wars game, where you actually have safe zone or areas, towns or cities even, and there you actually have NPCs that give quests and you can actually see other players, and the moment you leave these safe areas, this is where you actually do all the fighting. And this is something that I found really interesting. Lastly, it says, finally you'll have a truck in Outriders. You won't be driving it yourself. Consider it more as a moving hub, or as the devs describe it, a moving RPG village. If you want to upgrade weapons or sell scrap without legging it back to a settlement, the truck will let you do that. And you know what? That's probably really awesome convenience. And lastly, we will be covering the articles from MMORPG.com that I found interesting. Magic Legends executive producer details monetization in upcoming ARPG. I believe his name is Rikosa. I do apologize if I'm mispronouncing that, but he is the executive producer for this game that the article mentioned, and he says that players will be able to explore everything Magic Legends has to offer without spending a dime, so we could safely assume that this will be a free-to-play game. Players can expect to see virtual currencies much like Star Trek Online and Neverwinter. Players can then spend that on items such as booster packs, and the booster packs is something I think we all saw coming, considering this is Magic that we are talking about, so there probably will be an element of RNG. Additionally, the other theme, Planeswalker classes, will also be available to purchase, but the Planeswalker classes aren't more powerful than the free options, rather they give another way to play without giving a numerical advantage. And to be honest with you, I have no idea what that means, so let me know in the comment section below to all the Magic fans out there what that means if you know. But lastly, the team is also implementing a battle pass system with 2 tracks, a paid pass and a free track as well. And this is something that we've been seeing a lot of games do these days, especially with mobile titles as well. Next, Camelot Unchained outlines the new 90-day plan. And if you head on over to their official site, you could actually see the breakdown of what's been done, completed, and some of the things that are in the new 90-day plan. But it's a huge list with tons of information, so I can't go through every single one. But just skimming through the article, it does seem like Mark Jacobs is actually making good on his promises, so good on him for keeping his community up to date and keeping up, especially. But if you want a more in-depth look in the next 90-day plan, I'll, again, as always, have the links down in the comment section below. And to all the ArcheAge fans out there, all 2 of you, ArcheAge Unchained Season 4 ArchePass arrives today. Next, Phantasy Star Online 2 partners with popular anime and manga franchise KonoSuba. I believe that's a typo. There should be an A at the end. But it does go on to read that this collaboration will be available until July 28th. There are several types of scratch tickets depending on the currency used. By purchasing AC scratch tickets, players will have a chance to obtain special items, including outfits, accessories, and enhanced items as well. And lastly, if you play TERA on the consoles, TERA's New Awakening update live on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. And that concludes today's episode of MMO and RPG News Roundup. I do appreciate it if you made it with me so far because the watch time does help with the algorithm. I really hope that I have earned your subscription in this episode. If so, please consider hitting the subscribe button as well as the bell notification, as those two help the channel a lot. And to those of you who have subscribed already, thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it. Anyways, I'll let you guys go. Hope you guys have a blessed night, and I will see you guys next time. Cheers again, everyone.